What's good, superstars? Back with another VV video. You got Superstar Joe. Get Superstar Rob in the building. How's it going, Rob?
Good, you?
Wait, let me throw this flower. Flower bomber incoming on VV. Guys, if you're new here, do not forget, become a superstar. Smash the subscribe button down below. Hit the bell notification so you know whenever we post some VV content for your faces. You can also become a superstar VIP. It's only $2.99 a month. Hit the join button under the video. Get entered into our giveaways every single month. We do giveaways at the end of the month. We just did some yesterday for the June numbers, so it was a lot of fun. You can follow us on X, follow us on Instagram if you want to DM us. Join our Discord. We got a lot of VV fam in our Discord, in the VV chat, talking about everything VV. Also, a lot of intermingling between projects, people bringing ideas from all over the space together and talking about what they like, what they don't like in all these projects. It's a communal place that will help grow the Web3 space, and we love that we're able to bring that to everybody.
Yeah, guys, make sure you guys join the Discord. Discord is the place to be. You want to be there for all of our utility programs. If you use any of our links, make sure you guys let us know in the Discord so we can sign you stars at the end of the month. We gave away 10 cryptos. 10 cryptos we gave away last month. So make sure you guys join in and let us know anytime you participate with our channel.
All right, so VV, big drop, highly anticipated Banksy drop is finally coming. Only 48 hours notice given, no marketing, none of that stuff. So we're going to go through the VEVE article for the flower bomber, and then we're going to give our takes on it and what we think about it. So, okay. Rob, I don't know if you had a chance to look at it yet, but basically there are 4 variants. You got the concrete variant. I'm going to zoom back a little bit here. You got the concrete variant and the original variant, which are 60 gems. And they are 1,333 editions and 222 editions. Okay. And the big thing about this drop is that it is regionally excluding the USA. So because of the brand licensing agreements, US is not included on the store drop, which is these 2 variants. Crazy. From how I read this article. So yeah, I mean, the biggest audience on VV will not be participating on the drop for this, but they will be allowed to participate in the secondary market.
That's shocking, actually. When I first heard that the US excluded, obviously it has to be related to something illegal with the licensor. I think that the brandalized licensor has some beef. Remember, we learned a long time ago with Banksy himself. So there must be something in the agreements here where they're not allowed to sell in the US. I don't know. But this is the first time I think I remember, at least, that it's a full-blown exclusion of the US, but everywhere else is okay. I think we've seen it somewhat. I think Ultraman was an Asia exclusive. Yeah. But this doesn't happen often. And then I remember at DCon back in 2022, there was a lot of excitement about Banksy. And I think some people are a bit disappointed that they won't be able to participate in the drop, but you can get it in the secondary market. So at least it's not like in the app, it was like a full-blown gate and you can't get it at all. So at least you can still get it in that secondary.
Other major things to note is that this drop is at 8 a.m. BST, which is 3 a.m. for us on the East Coast here. So they have played around with the times to accommodate the regional exclusion. Obviously, Canada has similar time zones as the US, but that is not going to be favorable for us if we did decide to go for this drop. Minimum MCP for the first drops are 5,000 if you are trying to go for that allocation. Yeah, so that's the first 2 drops, and this is happening on July 6th.
Okay.
Then there's more here. So there's more. So first of all, pretty scarce drop, 1,333 and then 222. We've seen VV heading in this direction. Now we got 2 more editions. This one here is the Street Cleaner edition. It's got a little power washer on the jacket. This one here, 333 editions. And this is dropping on July 8th, but it is a craft only. And the only way to craft it is to burn 250,000 MCP points. There's one more variant, which is the bronze variant. It is a secret rare, only 88 editions, similar to what we saw with the Kevin from the Up drop, 88 edition secret rare. But this one here, you can only attain it by burning 1 million MCP points. If you don't know, that is a lot of MCP points. And I'm not even sure that 88 people have that many MCP points on VV.
I doubt it. I doubt that 80 people have 1 million MC points. It's insane. Like to have that's like, I think maybe the top 15 guys on the app may have that. We haven't ran the number, so I don't know for sure the exact number, but I doubt that the top 100 can all get that. It is hard to accumulate 1 million MCP points, and it's actually staying true to the Banksy style though. where it's supposed to be very exclusive and it's supposed to be very hard to get. And this is, I guess, their way of gating it. It's also interesting that it's a full-blown MCP craft. I like that. They're finding ways to bring utility to MCP. But one thing I also want to mention, though, Joe, is that of the 333 editions, it said there that 50 of them will be held back by VEVE. So it's even more scarce. And then for the 88 editions, 18 of them will be held back by VEVE. So we're looking at only 70 editions for the public. This is going to be one of the most scarce things on the app. And it's a pretty good IP. I mean, to be the most scarce on the app, because Banksy is known for that scarcity. That art is supposed to be so exclusive. So I think it's pretty cool. And I kind of like how this drop's going. I'm not going to lie. I like what they're doing here.
Yeah. Okay. So there was other things. One other aspect of this drop that I really like as well is that secondary fees. So any fees that 2.5%, 8.5% that happens on secondary market sales will not be retained by the licensor. I don't know if the VEVE 2.5 is going to be retained by VEVE or not, but I'd have to double check it. But the licensor fee is going to be donated to a charity. So I don't know how often they're going to do it, because obviously these things can move around over time. And they're going to have a form, I heard on Spaces from My Collectibles, that there's going to be a form that comes out where people can nominate charities, and then they're going to decide which charity that they use. But that is one way that they're saying, like, look, we're not taking advantage of the license in that regard. It's already a scarce enough drop. It's going to cover our costs. We want to share the art, and then we are going to make any recurring fees, do something good with that money and donate it to charities. So I really like that aspect of it.
Yeah, the flower bomber too is an iconic one, right? Like, this is one of the most iconic images for Banksy. So I think that
it's the VEVE 2.5. Please note that 2.5 VEVE% secondary sales will be applied to secondary and collected and donated to charity. So Brandalai is not even taking a cut.
Okay, so Brandalai is getting nothing, but the 2.5%, the full 2.5% fee will be going to a charity of their choice, or is it going to be just different charities each year?
We want the VEVE fam to help us decide the charity.
Gotcha.
So I don't know how often they're going to do it. They're going to have to give more clarity on that.
I mean, there's not much negative I can say about this drop. I think that VEVE's they're really hitting it on this one. I think they did a great job structuring this drop. It took a long time from when it was originally announced to what it is now, but I think VEVE needs to do more of this. Yeah. People wanted scarcity, right? We know that in the digital collectible world, especially if it's going to lack utility in terms of like games, let's say, or other things, you got to find other ways to increase the collectability of that collectible. And it seems like a lot of collectibles are either the mints are too high, or the character isn't exactly what people thought it was going to be, or they don't, like we saw with Blackpink, for example, they didn't have, let's say, a real world application to bring in users that weren't familiar with this space. But I think with Banksy, they're staying true to this, to the people who are here right now. This is clearly targeted for the people who are here right now. This is targeted to reward some of the most invested collectors on the VEVE app, because they're the only ones who will have the ability to do this craft. Someone who's not part of this app will have no chance at being able to craft this. They are forced to buy this in the secondary market. So if there is any new users from Banksy, they're going to want the secondary market. So it's a targeted this is a targeted drop for the people who are here right now. And they did it in a way to reward the most invested consumers of theirs by allowing them to use their very difficult to achieve 1 million MCP points to get this drop. And the nice thing about it is they don't have to pay any more than they already have. Trust me, to get 1 million MCP, they probably paid a lot already. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's rewarding collectors, the biggest collectors in this case. I mean, 1 million, even 250,000 MCP is a lot. It takes years for some people who maybe have smaller collections to collect that many MCP points. But I don't think that this is going to be the standard going forward, using 1 million MCP. I think that they are going to play around with it to try and reward people who've been here maybe less time, or maybe have a little bit of a smaller collection. But the exclusive MCP drops is a great thing. It's great to see MCP having more utility. And it's great to see that people who, like you said, have invested a ton of money are going to get rewarded here. We saw early adopters get rewarded when we saw the blue and yellow Batman drop. not too long. I mean, I guess like 6 to 8 months ago now. I don't even remember when that was, but it was the first 150 people or something on the app that got whitelisted. So we've seen early adopters get rewarded. Now we're seeing big investors get rewarded. Hopefully they continue this trend and they start to reward people who've been here but aren't the biggest investors, right?
The key thing here, I mean, this one here, okay, it was targeted for like the top 10 wallets. However, the key thing here is that MCP points are being given more utility now on the drop than just a chance to buy a collectible. Yeah. Now you can use them to get a collectible. And I think they got to do more of that. This is what we want to see from the MCP program. We want to see MCP being used in a more meaningful way. Make it actually mean something. The way they've done this in the past with MCP is that you got to basically stake your MCP, and then you get into a chance to get something that you may not even get the one you want, right? You might get the common instead of the secret rare. So by doing this, you've given utility now to MCP, which gives a reason to collect, because you know that your MCP points can maybe get you collectibles in the future. The more they do this, I think the more they will reward collectors. And the more that they reward collectors, the more it will truly be a collector's app. And they can always target sometimes they're going for new users. This one here is specifically targeted for the ones who are here right now, although maybe the top like 0.5%, but they can always do MCP drops that will be rewarding more people in the future.
Yeah, and the other cool thing about this one is that it almost is like a OMI to NFT in a way, because now that you're able to use MCP and you're able to get OMI by staking that, and you're able to get MCP by staking the OMI, indirectly, you kind of have like some kind of input from your OMI if you are collecting MCP in that way. And I want to pull this up here because we put that exact tweet out. Could this style drop technically be OMI to NFT if you redeem your bronze tickets? And we had a great response here from Foster. None other than Foster from the ecomi team, saying, I think I read somewhere that the intention is to eventually allow people to buy bronze tickets with OMI, which could then be redeemed for MCP points. Interesting. So is this how we're going to see OMI to NFT? Is it going to be OMI to MCP to NFT? Is that going to be the way? How's that going to work?
OMI to MCP? That is definitely not what I thought OMI to NFT would look like. I mean, I guess it's kind of a backdoor route, because if you do OMI to MCP and MCP to NFT, I guess at the end, from beginning to end, it is OMI to NFT. And they're probably doing that to kind of avoid some kind of regulation. They must be, right?
We'll
by
see.
doing it that way.
We'll see what they're doing, but they're opening the door here now by starting to give some more utility to the MCP. The other thing is, it was not the most well-received news from everyone. Like we really love it. We think that this is a great dynamic. We think it's a great start to something that could be real important, rewarding users who've been here. If they go that way, if they start to maybe take down the MCP numbers required for certain drops or some types of drops that are exclusive MCP. Obviously, once you use these points, they're gone, and you have to re-earn them all. So even people making like 2,000, 3,000 MCP a day, it still take you quite a while to get to 1 million.
Over a year.
Yeah, but I mean, if they start to incorporate this into most drops or a lot of drops, it'll be a lot of fun to see how it plays out. I wanted to show this one first, but yeah, shout out to Sergio. He gave his thoughts on it, and he is not happy. So I mean, there's an entire opposite reaction in this post here. He's bothered that it's not available to the US. He thinks it's too many MCP points to craft. It's years worth of MCP points for most users, and he thinks that it just takes too long. It was not the correct amount. I mean, that's the whole point. The whole point is that it's supposed to be a decision here, right? Like, are you going to risk it for the biscuit? And you want that to be something that people want to hold on to, because they want to turn their MCP points into something of value, right? So I think that they did a good job when it came to the scarcest one. They made it something you have to actually think about, because if it was 50,000 MCP people, everyone's going to do it. They made it exclusive, and they rewarded those of their top investors.
Yeah, I think if Sergio's disappointed, it would be solely because he can't participate, right? But like, when you look at the actual mechanics of what they're doing, they're definitely going in the right direction. They're giving actual utility to MCP points. They're allowing MCP points to be a direct line to getting a collectible. It's also pretty scarce ones too. So I think the VEVE fan who's disappointed on this being too high, it's more because of the self-reflection. They feel that they've maybe spent a lot themselves, and they still don't have enough to be able to participate. But that's the point. VEVE did this on purpose. They don't want, 1,000 people to be eligible to go for this drop. It's an 88 mint drop in which VEVE is going to hold 18. So only 70 people can get this. It's by design supposed to allow only like the top people to get this if they want it. And that's the reason why it's a million MCP. And if you're disappointed, it's most likely because you can't participate. Either you're in the US or let's be honest here, you probably just don't have the MCP points. So you don't have to use them. VEVE's not making you use them. You can save them and buy it in the secondary market if you don't want to use them because it took you so freaking long to save them up. You could just wait. But that alone is what we're talking about when it comes to utility. Now, because it's so hard to get, people in the secondary market are going to obviously be thinking now, oh, wow, this is impossible for me to get unless I go and buy it secondhand. And we kind of see that in the physical collecting world, where due to actual tarnishing of collectibles, to get that perfect condition 97 Bel Air screwdriver set for $300, you're only going to get that if you had somebody who kept it in perfect condition for the last 20, 25 years. And that's the key. This is the beauty of the MCP being as hard as it is that somebody who's put in all that effort and money and time to get those MCP points are going to get that. And if you want it, you're going to now have to negotiate with them to get that. So I like where they're going with VEVE's going with this. I want to see more of this. And I think that this is true to the spirit of being a collecting app. So hopefully we see some more of that.
Shouldn't be easy to obtain. And when you want to get something, it's going to cost you either time or money. That's how it works in collecting, right? So very cool to see this new mechanic play out, and excited to see where they go with it. Hopefully it's not a one and done. Hopefully it's not a one in every 6 months. Hopefully this is something that's here to stay. If we're going to use a VEVE hashtag and we continue to see this, because I think they're on the right direction. Right.
Now, guys, I want to know your thoughts. Let us know in the comments below. What do you guys think about this drop? Do you guys think this drop hit the mark? Do you guys think that this drop, the way that they're doing it, should become a standard? Do you want to see more of this drop? They're even giving it to charity. That's another great thing. I think they've done that one time before with Ukraine, right? They had the Ukraine one. So let us know your thoughts below, and make sure you guys stay tuned, because we have a lot to talk about here. We just talked about OMI to MCP. Joe, we got to do a video on that. But you're not going to know when we're posting the video unless before you leave, you become a superstar, smash the subscribe button, join the Superstar fam, hit the bell notification to get every single video every single day. Also, Superstar VIP, $2.99 a month, star beside your name, after spreadsheet giveaways, guys. Thank you so much. Take care. See you next one.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.